Tonight on CTV News, changing Canada's bail laws.
Where somebody's been convicted of these types of crimes, they should be held instead of released before sentencing.
After months of pressure from provinces, Ottawa introduces legislation to reform the bail system. Will it flip the script on repeat offenders? Also tonight.
I think where we're seeing high levels of weapons coming in, high levels of violence, it makes sense.
With rising concerns about violence against healthcare workers, could some hospitals in BC soon have weapons detection systems powered by AI? And
I expect full house every game.
If the Jays win, it's going to be bonkers in here.
Local bars going bonkers for the Blue Jays. How they're gearing up for a flock of fans ahead of Game 1 of the World Series.
This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Mi Jung is off tonight. The federal Liberals are getting tough on crime, or are they? The government has tabled legislation targeting violent repeat offenders with praise from some and skepticism from others. As CTV's Penny Dathlos reports, the provincial government sees it as a big win for a public frustrated with crime.
We now know the killing of a Kelowna mother has influenced proposed nationwide changes to Canada's criminal code.
What happened with Bailey McCourt should never happen again.
Those accused of intimate partner violence, including choking and strangulation, will now be held in custody unless they give a judge a good reason otherwise.
This is a package of sweeping reforms that includes more than 80 targeted measures that will make bail laws stricter and sentencing tougher, in particular for violent and repeat offenders.
The federal government tabled the Bail and Sentencing Reform Act after years of lobbying from police, municipal leaders, and premiers frustrated with the status quo and what opposition parties are calling a catch-and-release justice system.
This new law will make it easier for courts to order the most high-volume offenders to be detained.
We're super excited about it. We have to digest it and see how it actually gets operationalized.
Victims advocates are cautiously optimistic.
I'd like to see how they actually work out. Everything takes a while to actually happen and to change. And so I think they are meaningful. It's a good start. There's always still more that can be done.
The Canadian Bar Association says this will make court hearings more complex, putting even more pressure on the court system. Other lawyers believe the legislation is just formalizing what already happens when judges decide whether someone should be kept in custody.
A lot of these really appear to be cosmetic changes aimed at assuaging the public sentiment about a rise in crime. When it comes to the more substantive changes, adding more reverse onuses is not likely to make any substantial difference.
Public safety is really important to people, and it's one of the jobs of government to work together to make sure that people are safe in their communities, something we take very seriously, and I don't view this as a cosmetic change. If what happened to Bailey never happens to another person, that's not cosmetic.
Well, Penny joins us now live. Penny, there's a lot to this crime bill, so what else is in it?
Well, Nafisa, it does include consecutive sentences so that if someone's guilty of multiple crimes, they serve one sentence after another instead of at the same time. So if someone with a 5-year and a 3-year sentence would be in prison for 8 years instead of 5. But the Justice Minister also acknowledged they're making upstream investments for mental health and youth programs to try and prevent people from turning to crime in the first place, Nafisa.
All right, thank you, Penny.
You bet.
The province's public safety critic is speaking out after a man accused of killing a taxi driver in Vancouver in 2022 has evaded authorities. This week, a Canada-wide arrest warrant was issued for Jordan Conway. Police say he was released to a recovery house in Abbotsford in July and took off days later. He failed to appear for a court appearance earlier this month. Conway was charged with manslaughter last year following an August 2022 attack near Nanaimo and East 2nd. 69-year-old taxi driver Aidan Hersey died of his injuries 15 months later.
An alleged offense like that to have taken place, that's a very serious crime. I mean, if that's not the threshold for someone to be held in custody before their court date, what is the threshold?
Anyone who sees Conway is asked to call 911 immediately. The Independent Investigations Office has cleared a pair of Surrey police officers involved in a fatal shooting earlier this year. The police watchdog says the officers were called to a halfway house on January 31st to check on a resident in breach of his parole conditions. When they arrived, they say the man pulled out a massive knife. When one officer tried tasering him, it didn't work, and the man charged at them. That's when the fatal shots were fired. The IIO says there are no reasonable grounds to believe either of the officers committed an offense. A private member's bill to prohibit publicly funded employees from making land acknowledgements didn't get very far in the legislature today. MLAs overwhelmingly voted it down in an unusual show of opposition for a first reading. CTV's Rob Buffum has the story.
Just want to start by acknowledging the Kwanghan-speaking people's territory.
Land acknowledgements, often given at the start of meetings and press conferences, were the target of a bill tabled Thursday by the 1BC party leader, Dallas Brody.
Land acknowledgements are the anthem of a suicidal nation.
The bill aimed to prohibit land acknowledgements by publicly funded employees, including in schools, that deny the sovereignty of the Crown within British Columbia or that attribute collective guilt to individuals based on race, ancestry, or the actions of Canadian historical figures.
They're repeated ritualistically to instill the belief that our country is illegitimate.
Breaking with convention, the bill didn't pass first reading. Most Conservatives, including its House Leader, A'aliya Warbus, joining the NDP and Greens in voting it down.
If we start to deny our history, then we can't move forward. So the truth is, Indigenous people were here. These are the lands of the Lekwungen people, and it does not hurt anybody to acknowledge that fact.
Two Conservatives did vote in support of first reading.
I think we should go through the substance of the bill. I think British Columbians deserve to know what is in these bills that get put forward.
We support everyone's right for freedom of speech, ironically, to be able to bring forward a bill.
Brody expressed concern that land acknowledgements involving references to stolen land set a dangerous precedent for private property rights battles.
We are grooming ourselves into the surrender of our province.
Nobody is forced to make a land acknowledgement, but to try to ban somebody's freedom of speech to do that is gross.
The bill voted down after first reading will no longer progress for further debate in the House.
And Rob joins us now live from Victoria. Rob, this bill actually spelled out punishments for certain land acknowledgements.
Well, that's right, Nafisa. The bill called for complaints to be lodged in writing, and there were disciplinary measures that it had discussed that could include up to somebody being fired from their job if they performed a land acknowledgement that went afoul of these rules. It's also worth noting that there was an exemption carved out for academic freedoms at post-secondary universities for certain land acknowledgements in relation to research, for example. But all of this is now moot. As you pointed out, this was overwhelmingly defeated at first reading, although I suspect there may be some debate outside of this building about this issue going forward. Nafisa.
Our Legislative Bureau Chief Rob Buffum live tonight. Thank you, Rob. The final preparations are underway, setting the stage for the first World Series game in Canada in more than 30 years. Still ahead on CTV News at 6, how local bars and restaurants are gearing up for the games. A look out on Robson Street. It is the calm before the storm because fall's first big storm is on its way, and we've got some weather alerts in place. What can we expect?
Well, we can expect to see some strong winds and heavy rain, so we do have a special weather statement in place for most of Metro Vancouver as we head through the overnight into tomorrow. 20 to 40 millimeters of rain expected, upwards of 80 for the North Shore Mountains, and we will see winds gusting to about 80 kilometers an hour into tomorrow morning, so expect pooling water and possible power outages and down trees. So that is into tomorrow for us. We still have warnings in place through this evening, and they will all be lifted later on tonight. So rainfall warnings for the inland sections of the North Coast, Central Coast of West Vancouver Island and Howe Sound. And in purple, we still have wind warnings in place for the central interior and the Fraser Canyon, with winds gusting to about 90 kilometers an hour. So hopefully these will all be lifted later on tonight, and that's when this special weather statement for us starts. So it's going to be soggy heading into the weekend as well. I've got those details with the full forecast coming up.
Sounds good.
CTV Weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises, customizing dream vacations with unbelievable value. Call or learn more at expediacruises.ca.
So clear your patios for now because, yeah, storm is a brewing tonight.
Thank you, Anne.
You're welcome.
Well, CTV News has learned that Fraser Health is considering a number of strategies, including AI weapons detection, as part of a pilot project to help prevent violence in hospitals and its facilities. It comes as the Nurses Union calls on the province to do more to protect workers. CTV's Michelle Bernoro has the details.
What you are watching is a demonstration of AI weapons detection technology used at 2 hospitals in London, Ontario.
The beauty of it is you don't got to empty out your pockets. You don't got to take out your cell phone.
And if a weapon is found, the screeners isolate where it is.
Go to another area. They're asked for a search, and there is no delay.
In BC, Fraser Health is considering a number of ways to improve safety for staff and is considering multiple strategies, including AI weapons detection. We are currently weighing which strategies we may implement as a pilot project, which will include a detailed evaluation to assess its impact and fit within Fraser Health. The BC Nurses Union says AI weapons detection technology has been on its radar for some time.
I actually wrote the health minister a couple months back asking her to consider AI-assisted weapons detection, and also let her know that the Nursing Bargaining Association was in a position to actually provide funding for a pilot.
The union declined to say which health authority it was speaking with regarding its pilot project, but indicated it would like to see a trial in several hospitals.
It's maybe not necessary in all healthcare settings, but I think where we're seeing high levels of weapons coming in, high levels of violence, it makes sense.
Earlier this month, RCMP were called to Alouette Homes in Maple Ridge, a mental health facility, after reports of a nurse being assaulted by a patient. A few days before that, police in New Westminster tasered a man who allegedly threatened workers at Royal Columbian Hospital with an edged weapon. The union is also calling for panic buttons, an alert system, surveillance, and a province-wide approach to specially trained security officers.
There's still many facilities in British Columbia that do not have any provision of security. We would also like to see hospital police considered.
Back in Ontario, AI weapons detection equipment finds about 8 knives a day between the 2 hospitals. The cost of leasing the machines is around $8,000 a month. Meanwhile, it's not clear when a pilot project to improve safety in Fraser Health facilities might begin. Michelle Bernoro, CTV News, Langley.
A Burnaby business owner fed up with thefts and attempted break-ins at his warehouse says upgrading security has been a deterrent, but criminals are still looking for a way in. Electra Appliances is located in a Burn Road business park. A few weeks ago, the owner installed security cameras, and that same day, they captured someone breaking into his delivery truck. He says he lost about $2,000 worth of tools and equipment. He has since fortified the lock on the truck, but would-be thieves still come by to test it on a regular basis. He says he's been able to scare them away by enabling the motion-activated audible alarm on the cameras.
Didn't realize that there is a video camera, especially because it was dark at night. So it didn't seem like he was even aware that he was being filmed. Except for the 3rd time when the alarm went off, then he realized, oh, okay, because he took off like the second the alarm went off.
Although he's happy to have discovered a reliable deterrent, he says he is still frustrated about the first theft and the fact RCMP have not been able to track down the people responsible. Former Solicitor General and West Vancouver Police Chief Cash Heed has announced he's running to be Richmond's next mayor. Heed says he will be focusing his platform around issues like public safety, affordability, and housing. A longtime Richmond resident successfully ran for a seat on City Council back in 2022. Current Mayor Malcolm Brodie announced last month he will not be seeking re-election after 25 years in the role. The election will be held next October. Bars in Metro Vancouver are gearing up for the World Series, which finally gets underway tomorrow in Toronto. As CTV's Martin McMahon reports, the Blue Jays are providing a welcome boom for watering holes.
These have been the scenes at Dublin Calling in downtown Vancouver during the Blue Jays playoff run.
The home run was crazy. George's home run in the 7th inning, that was good vibes in here.
And now it's the calm before the storm, with many bars expecting to be packed for the World Series between Toronto and Los Angeles. Staff are preparing to pour plenty of pints in the coming days.
I expect full house every game, 100, 150 people, possibly more.
It's been a similar party down the street at Red Card Sports Bar.
I would love to see a Game 7, to be honest with you. That would be amazing. If we went Game 7, it'd be great for business. It'd be great for everything. And then, again, if the Jays win, it's going to be bonkers in here.
There's another aspect to all of this. The BC GEU strike has brought liquor distribution to a halt, meaning bars and restaurants can't refill their stocks during this playoff run.
There's shortages everywhere. I mean, there's nothing we can avoid right now. It's just shortages everywhere. And if we do run out, then unfortunately we're just going to have to sell premium spirits versus regular spirits. So that's kind of what we're facing at the moment.
We're definitely having some challenges, but we're holding our own. We got ahead of the game before it all went down, so we're still doing okay. There's a couple things that we're a little bit light on, but we're surviving.
If you plan to watch at your favorite bar, it may be worth planning ahead with a reservation, with some places already heavily booked well into the series. Martin McMahon, CTV News, Vancouver.
It's fall, and that means an explosion of bright colors, and I don't mean the leaves. Coming up, we'll show you a soggy spectacle in Pitt Meadows. But first.
So we take blood samples from patients and we make stem cells from them.
A medical game changer, how local experts are using a 3D printer to make living heart tissue, what it means for people who need transplants or have heart disease. Plus. 3, 2, 1, fire. Out with a bang. It's the end of an era for a record-breaking piece of electric infrastructure, but really it's just neat video of old power lines getting blown up. That's when CTV News continues. Stay with us. Stunning video from BC Hydro shows the moment it completed a successful removal of one of the world's longest over-water power line crossings. The more than 3-kilometer power line across Jervis Inlet was installed in the 1960s and was one of 2 lines supplying electricity to around 10,000 residents in the Powell River area. BC Hydro will install a new power line across the inlet by 2027. Researchers at St. Paul's Hospital have developed groundbreaking technology to treat patients with heart disease. The team has been able to create living human heart tissue and test it all through a 3D printer. CTV's Yasmin Gandam reports it's a game-changing step forward that could make treatment faster and cheaper.
This custom-built 3D printer allows scientists to produce small pieces of heart muscle that behave like real human tissue.
So we take blood samples from patients and we make stem cells from them. From those stem cells, we make heart cells.
The team, led by Dr. Zach Laxman at St. Paul's Hospital, has been working on the machine for 3 years.
It's exciting to be able to see kind of what the potential of just a small little build like this could have an effect on so many people's lives now and in the future.
The researchers made their own because none of the commercially available 3D printers had as much of a personalized approach as this one.
We have patients who have very specific genetic conditions, so there's a change in their DNA that led to their heart condition.
The tissue that is created is then drug tested to see what happens and if the heart health improves. This can significantly speed up the process of drug testing.
That are more human relevant, that are able to more closely mimic what's happening in human hearts and allow us to figure out what are some of the drugs that are going to be suitable for a patient we're seeing in clinic, and maybe what are some of the drugs that might be toxic for them.
The samples created are genetically identical to the patient's cell, meaning treatment is easier and more efficient.
We can try different drugs, try different treatments, and that tissue carries the same DNA change that the patient carries. And so the treatment is predicted to be successful for that person, but also safe.
Dr. Laxman and his team are already using the technology to study multiple conditions, including heart rhythm and muscle problems. He hopes to fundraise to grow the technology and increase the heart tissue they are able to print.
We're looking to treat patients with heart failure and potentially replace heart transplants in the future.
Yasmin Gandam, CTV News, Vancouver.
Grab your waders, it's cranberry season. People are diving into fall in Pitt Meadows for a one-of-a-kind plunge that celebrates BC's harvest.
We always look at bloom period. That can make or break your harvest. So we have really, for the most part, good weather during bloom, so about June period. And no harsh frost, so yeah, everything looks good. So
it's a sea of red at Hopcott Farms, where visitors are stepping into flooded fields filled with millions of floating cranberries. BC is home to dozens of family-run cranberry farms, and the annual plunge offers a front row seat to the vibrant harvest season. A new bottle return depot has opened in East Vancouver, featuring new technology to make the process more efficient while reducing waste.
Not only will residents be able to get their refunds back, but every container that is collected is a valued resource that is turned back into a new product, mostly beverage containers.
The new location on Grandview Highway near Renfrew Street uses new reverse vending machines that collect and sort beverage containers before providing a refund at the machine. The company expects to see around 10 million used beverage containers collected at this new facility each year. Well, it's like something out of a movie. The FBI announcing charges against mafia families and current and former NBA players.
We're talking about tens of millions of dollars in fraud and theft and robbery.
Mobsters and basketball players accused of rigging poker games using X-ray card readers and shuffling machines. We'll have more on the multi-million-dollar illegal gambling scheme after the break. It's the final weekend before Halloween, and there are lots of spooky and not so spooky events scheduled around Metro Vancouver. We've got a full list of fun things to check out on our website, ctvnewsvancouver.ca. A massive sports rigging and gambling scandal in the States is sending shockwaves through the NBA. A coach and player have been arrested as part of a federal investigation into illegal betting activities. CTV's John Venavalley-Rao takes a look at the charges and the consequences.
The stunning charges coming just days after a brand new NBA season tipped off, with these current and former players, including a Hall of Famer, among those accused, following investigations involving sports betting and rigged poker games linked to the mafia.
We're talking about tens of millions of dollars in fraud and theft and robbery.
U.S. authorities laying out two separate schemes. The first involving Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier, who was arrested along with former NBA player Damon Jones. Investigators say they provided information about games to co-defendants who used it to place illegal bets.
The non-public information included when specific players would be sitting out future games, or when they would pull themselves out early for purported injuries or illnesses.
You got to keep fighting.
Authorities say one example took place when Rozier was playing for the Charlotte Hornets in 2023. They say he let others secretly know he planned to leave a game early with a supposed injury.
Rozier exited the game after just 9 minutes, and those bets paid out, generating tens of thousands of dollars in profit.
For more than a year, authorities in New York have been looking into illegal gambling after Toronto Raptors player Jonte Porter was caught disclosing information to bettors. The NBA banned him for life. Authorities say the second indictment involves Jones and the head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, Chauncey Billups, who allegedly took part in illegal poker games rigged by the mafia using high-tech cheating devices, including X-ray tables that could read cards.
Victims were attracted to play alongside well-known professional athletes and coaches like Chauncey Billups, only to be unknowingly deceived through rigged shuffling machines.
The NBA says Billups and Rozier are being put on immediate leave and that it'll continue to cooperate with authorities. John Venavalley-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
To the latest on the teachers' strike in Alberta, which entered its 13th school day today, Premier Daniel Smith says teachers can expect to be forced back to work on Monday. Today, teachers rallied at the legislature to show how they feel about that. Teachers came in on school buses from Calgary and communities around the province to attend. The crowd only got larger throughout the afternoon, with thousands showing up to wave signs and make speeches, many expressing their frustrations at the province over how bargaining has been handled.
Very frustrated, emotionally exhausted by the whole thing. And I think the part for me is just knowing like how little government is moving and how they are not like budging.
Legislation is expected to be tabled on Monday, and with debate limited to 1 hour and a United Conservative Party majority, Bill 2, known as the Back to School Act, is expected to be pushed through quickly. After the break, grab your galoshes. Anne's got a soggy forecast coming up, and later.
It broke my heart to think that we could have put our friends in danger.
There could be deaths from a family sinking a boat.
Serious safety concerns from families who bought boats made by Sea-Doo. What happened to them and what the company is saying. We'll be right back.
Your morning just got a little brighter. Wake up and start your day with CTV Your Morning, and you could be $20,000 richer. Simply watch CTV Your Morning Vancouver for the hourly code word. Then enter it online at ctvvancouver.ca for your chance to win. Imagine what you could do with an extra $20,000. CTV Your Morning's $20,000 giveaway. Watch CTV Your Morning Vancouver, weekday morning 6 to 9.
One of Taiwan's famous wartime attractions was transformed into a unique venue for the Kinmen Tunnel Music Festival. The annual event included 6 shows with performers playing music on a small boat that slowly circled the tunnel. It was originally built to shelter supply boats from Chinese artillery shells during the height of the Cold War. Beautiful. Well, why did the Beaver cross the road? That question stumped Mounties in Hope after they were called to help with a very Canadian issue. Police posted photos to social media showing a beaver that was recently rescued outside Hope's post office, writing, "This little engineer decided to cross the road instead of building a dam." The beaver was safely brought back to the Fraser River, with police noting the importance of both traffic flow and river flow. Speaking of river flow, we're going to be dealing with some of that. We got a storm heading our way.
Yes, that is right. Expect to see some pooling water, strong winds, and heavy rain, all because of this vigorous frontal system moving its way in towards us on the south coast. So we do have a special weather statement in place for most of Metro Vancouver. You can expect to see anywhere between 20 to 40 millimeters of rain overnight tonight through the day tomorrow, upwards of 80 millimeters for the North Shore, with winds gusting to 80 kilometers an hour. So expect to see some possible power outages as well as some downed trees. Make sure you take all the loose objects off your patio tonight. Also, warnings in place expected to lift as we head through later this evening through the overnight. Rainfall warnings for the inland sections of the North Coast, Central Coast, West Vancouver Island, and Howe Sound, with the winds warnings in place gusting to 90 kilometers an hour. Again, hopefully these will all be lifted as we head through the overnight hours. So right now, we're seeing dry conditions. Enjoy it for the time being, because as we head through the overnight, we will see the rain return into tomorrow morning, heavy at times, especially for the northern regions for your early morning commute, continuing through the afternoon and slowly easing as we head into tomorrow night, slowly drying for a brief period before another system moves its way in for the weekend. So you will see a mix of sun and cloud for Cranberry tomorrow, your provincial forecast at the bottom of your screen. Showers with a chance of afternoon thunder showers for Port Hardy at 10 degrees. Mostly cloudy skies. Afternoon showers for Campbell River and Comox with the high of 12. You'll see light rain for Tofino right down to the southern Gulf Islands. Periods of rain for Victoria. It'll be pretty soggy with a high of 12 degrees. For the Sunshine Coast, light rain and 12 up the Sea to Sky Highway. You'll see periods of rain with temperatures between 7 and 10 degrees. And for us across the Lower Mainland, 15 to 25 millimeters expected. 13 degrees across the board. Very windy to start off the day. The rain continues for Saturday, lightening up on Sunday, but still wet, 10 degrees. Drying up on Monday with some sunny breaks. And then on Tuesday, we'll see cloudy skies for the daytime. Rain comes in late in the evening, and then we'll see showers for Wednesday and Thursday. CTV weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. And I know everybody's keeping an eye on Friday because it's Halloween, so we'll see what we can expect as we head into that day. We'll know tomorrow.
Yeah, all the ghosts and goblins want good weather, Anne.
Yeah, exactly. They want to show off their costumes.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Well, still ahead, wild video of a deer that crashed into a wine store, but first.
The first that they were aware this was happening was once the thieves were already inside and cutting their way into the jewel cases.
It could be a major break in the case of a $100 million jewel heist at the Louvre Museum in Paris. What investigators have found at the scene? As CTV News at 6 continues. Taking a look at today's markets, the Canadian dollar traded for 71 cents to the American dollar. Oil was up $3.29, closing the day at $61.79 U.S. a barrel. Gold gaining more than $80 on the day. TSX and the Dow Jones both finished higher, up 203 points and 144 points, respectively. Ford reported a profit of $2.4 billion U.S. for its third quarter. That's double what it made in the same quarter last year. The company is seeing strong sales of trucks and SUVs, but a fire at a key aluminum supplier could cost Ford as much as $2 billion. They rely on that metal to build pickup trucks. Ford is revising its earnings outlook as a result, now forecast to be $6 to $6.5 billion, $1 billion less than it was. Lululemon has received a U.S. trademark, including a term that's getting more attention in recent years: dupes. It's short for duplicates, and it refers to items that are created with a goal of closely resembling a brand name product. The Vancouver-based company now owns the trademark for specifically Lululemon dupes. The retailer hasn't commented on its move to seek that protection, but comes as it sues Costco for infringing on its intellectual property. Costco has also previously refused comment. They're billed as a fun, family-friendly way to enjoy the water, but some Sea-Doo Switch owners say their boats are anything but safe. CTV's Pat Foran looks into the growing concerns after one Ontario grandfather says his vessel nearly capsized with young children on board.
The Sea-Doo Switch has the power of a Sea-Doo and the seating arrangement of a pontoon boat. Marcus Hurl of St. Isidore says when he was using his with his grandchildren this summer, after another boat passed by, his Sea-Doo Switch started taking on water.
It was like a scoop that was scooping up water into the boat. Front end was submerged.
Lori and Clyde Rowan from Sault Ste. Marie saw our story and said a similar incident happened to them and their Sea-Doo Switch.
Went down into a trough. The front of the boat just disappeared. A wave hit us and we could not recuperate, and it just flipped us right over. All 7 of us were in the water.
Everyone on board had to be rescued.
You know, somebody could have been killed.
It broke my heart to think that we could have put our friends in danger.
There could be deaths from a family sinking a boat.
Paul and Sue DeCucci of Ottawa say their Sea-Doo Switch has taken on water and almost sank twice.
Just take the boat back and you work on whatever you need to work on to make this thing seaworthy, because I don't trust it.
There have also been cases of Sea-Doo Switches flipping over in the U.S. Bombardier Recreational Products issued a safety recall earlier this year and said overloading the front of the boat could result in serious injury or death. It also released a safety video.
Do not allow passengers to sit or gather at the front of the boat that would overload the bow. It may result in the boat nosediving, leading to capsizing.
Bombardier told CTV News safety is our top priority and the Sea-Doo Switch complies with small vessel regulations. The company added in a new statement, "We invite customers to reach out to their local dealers to perform the necessary recall procedures to mitigate the risk of nosediving and discuss any concerns they might have." But the 3 owners that contacted us say they want refunds for their boats and won't feel safe using them again.
Recall or no recall, I don't care. I'm not putting my grandchildren on that boat. Never.
New video is shedding light on one of the most daring museum robberies in recent history. It shows the alleged Louvre thieves escaping with over $100 million in crown jewels. And now prosecutors say DNA evidence could crack the case. NBC's Raf Sanchez explains.
You can see two of the robbers going down that ladder truck from the balcony of the Apollo Gallery and then jumping onto a waiting scooter and disappearing into the traffic. Paris prosecutors tell us this video is part of their investigation, and they say that they have also recovered DNA from a helmet and gloves left at the scene. We don't know at this point whether that DNA matches any known criminals, but with every passing hour, fears are growing that the gang may have already fled France and may be chopping those historic crown jewels into pieces.
A wine bar in the States was forced to temporarily close after an unexpected guest left a trail of destruction. A deer crashed into the business yesterday, smashing through a window before leaping over the bar. It seems the spooked animal didn't find what it was looking for, eventually leaving through the patio door seemingly uninjured. The business closed early so staff could clean up, and that's when they found one of the poor deer's antlers in the Halloween decorations. But it's okay. Still ahead, why Burnaby's own Michael Bubl isn't feeling good and is actually a little conflicted when it comes to picking a World Series winner. Plus, feathered fan. Adam meets a Victoria woman and finds out what she's learned after embarking on a daily, decades-long quest. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off. Right now, here's a preview of Your Morning Vancouver.
How different will holiday shopping be this year with AI as one of Santa's helpers? Friday on Your Morning Vancouver, the shift in shopping habits as people turn to artificial intelligence. Also, a look ahead to Game 1 for the Blue Jays, back in the World Series for the first time in 30 years. Plus, we'll take you to the Vancouver Aquarium where they're showcasing their underwater pumpkin carving skills. We'll see you in the morning.
Is rocking out next to me because the Foo Fighters have announced they're coming back to BC Place next summer for the rock band's first stadium tour in years. Vancouver is one of 4 Canadian stops on their Take Cover tour, along with Edmonton, Regina, and Toronto. Tickets go on sale next Friday.
I think about that night all the time.
Netflix says the series finale of Stranger Things will get a theatrical release after all, weeks after the streamer shot down the idea. Now the company says the last show will hit the big screen and be released on Netflix simultaneously on New Year's Eve. The 5th and final season of Stranger Things will be rolled out in 3 waves starting November 26th. With the Jays set to make history on home turf, the spotlight is burning bright on Toronto. From Media Day buzz to fans lining up for merch, the city is bracing for Game 1, and the world is watching. CTV's Allison Hurst reports.
Preparations are in full swing as the Blue Jays get ready to host the Dodgers for Game 1 of the World Series.
Everybody says it's a dream come true, which it is.
Coming off a big Game 7 win, a world of media attention has descended on Toronto, and players are trying to keep calm and have fun for the Fall Classic.
I played some of my best baseball in my backyard as a kid, so I try to bring that with me out there, and hopefully that can be a little contagious, and the boys can just relax and enjoy it because it's a special moment that it may never happen again.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. says he was in touch with his mom earlier today.
She say she proud of me, and no matter what will happen, she always gonna be proud of me.
Fans are also proud the boys of summer lasted into the fall and are feeling good about their chances.
We're on a run, and we got them. No problem.
My gut doesn't lie. It's saying Jays in 6.
We're an underdog, but I think the boys can come through.
Tomorrow's starting pitcher, rookie Trey Yesavage, knows they're playing for a huge fan base.
We represent this entire country, and we're this country's team. So we want to go out there and do everything we can to make this country proud of us.
For manager John Schneider, this is a career in the making.
I'm just thankful and humbled that I'm the one doing it, leading them into the World Series.
The LA Dodgers arrived in Toronto last night, bringing with them their star-studded lineup, drawing huge international attention. Starting pitcher and heavy hitter Shohei Ohtani, who was rumored to come to Toronto for the 2024 season.
He was a once-in-a-lifetime guy on your roster, but here we are, and
I'm going to have to face them at some point.
Fans lined up early and all day, hoping to get a piece of the merchandise.
One of those nice World Series hats and maybe a T-shirt.
I was able to get some stuff for the older ones, but not for the baby. They have stuff for babies, but not World Series branded stuff.
Excitement and anticipation mounting ahead of Game 1.
We are going to perform a new song that you will be the first to hear. It's called I Can't Lose. It's a song all about hope. So hopefully...
It's a song all about hope, and the Jonas Brothers will be debuting it in Game 2 of the World Series. The special in-stadium performance is part of a partnership between the MLB, MasterCard, and Stand Up to Cancer. The brothers are ambassadors for the campaign and say they're excited to be part of a moment where music and purpose come together. And you can add the Prime Minister to the growing list of Blue Jays fans fired up for the World Series. Mark Carney made a surprise visit as the team was working out today.
You can sense that this is a real team. You can sense the guys pulling for each other. You know they'll be pulling for Trey Savage when he gets out there on this mound tomorrow night. And, there's a lesson, I think, in how this team's performed for the country, which they perform as a team and they take risks.
The Prime Minister is confident picking the Jays to win in 6 games. Carney also says U.S. President Donald Trump has not yet returned his call about making a bet on the series.
Every single time he walks up the bat, Ohtani uses my song, "Feeling Good."
That's right. I was going there.
That's going there. Then I gotta somehow fight that as a Canadian, my beloved Blue Jays are going to go up against now my hero. I'm conflicted.
So Canada's listening now.
Burnaby's own Michael Bubl is feeling good about the Blue Jays' chances, but admits this World Series hits a little too close to home. The proud Canadian says it's tough cheering against his hero, Dodgers superstar Shohei Ohtani, who he calls one of the greatest of all time, but he adds his heart still bleeds red and white and predicts the series will be much closer than people think. Did not know Michael Bublé was a big baseball fan. But I know he's a hockey guy, but good on him.
But good for him. Either team wins, he wins.
There you go. We've got some incredible visuals to show you now. An annual marvel of nature is underway on Australia's Christmas Island. Take a look at this. Tens of millions of red crabs are clawing their way from the forest to the shoreline where they'll breed. Now, as for the humans on the tiny island, they pitch in by clearing a path for the red carpet of crustaceans. It's a seafood buffet.
Yeah, it's a little creepy,
wait for all the seagulls. Yeah, it's cool looking, right? Yeah. Well, just before we get to the Sawatsky sign-off, Craig is here with a preview of what's coming up at 11:30.
I am, and if you saw, we're tracking a few stories tonight, including a multi-person stabbing in the downtown east side this afternoon. A teenager has been arrested and charged in the incident. As of right now, police have confirmed 4 people were stabbed. We will have the latest on all of this at 11:30. Also, our Isabella Zavarisi will have a report on big changes coming to staff at the City of Vancouver, how the push to freeze property taxes next year has opposition councillors believing jobs are on the line, while the mayor says tonight he's behind the new direction.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Craig. Well, for more than 2 decades, a woman in Victoria has gone on a daily quest, not for fame or fortune, but for feathers. Her routine has turned into a celebration of beauty, nature, and a very special bird. Adam explains in tonight's Sawatsky sign-off.
Rebecca is on a quest of sorts that began more than 20 years ago and continues almost every day.
It's always something there. It's never the same day twice.
A search for beauty beyond the flowers in the spring and leaves in the fall for Rebecca's favorite find of all.
The feathers.
The feathers?
Yes, the feathers.
Specifically, peacock feathers, because, Rebecca says, before proving it with pictures, whether the moms are caring for their chicks in the spring or the dads are displaying their plumage in the winter, there's always feathers to be found.
And I just can't resist them.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're so pretty.
And there are a lot to choose from here, because a few moments before Rebecca arrived, there was a proliferation of peacocks.
I call them a perusal of peacocks.
Because there are just so many peacocks to peruse. So many colors to consider, so many behaviors to observe.
They groom each other, so that's nice.
Even after they disagree, Rebecca says, the peacocks are nice.
They hang out with each other afterwards, so they don't carry a grudge.
But they do discard a lot of feathers, which is even better than nice.
Yeah, I've got a whole collection of them. Yeah, you can never get too many.
Well, Rebecca will use the feathers to create all sorts of crafts back home.
It's a pretty one here.
She takes a moment to arrange them here.
They're so pretty in the sun.
Into a blissful bouquet.
And it offset all the bad things that happen because you can weigh against all the beauty.
Because if you take the time to look for beauty, she's learned, you will always find it. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Victoria.
Well, I have no peacock feathers in my neighborhood, but I see people collecting colorful leaves all the time. This is the time of year for that. So.
Lots of leaves on the ground right now. And speaking of colorful leaves, take a look at these colorful trees in Kelowna. Yeah, our scenic snapshot for tonight. Thanks, Donna, for sending this one in. And we want to see your scenic snapshot as well. So email us at scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca. I love colorful leaves.
Yeah, this is also very Christmassy. I know it's early, but it is red and green. Don't come for me. CTV News continues online anytime. You can visit ctvnewsvancouver.ca. You can catch Craig at 11:30. And thank you for sharing part of your evening with us. Good night.